Alright, hi everyone. Welcome to 3Ds and the Pod. I'm the Drunken Dad, and
I'm more than.
this is.
TY.
Hey, you guys need to be a bit, as if like you have to like, oh, I'm on that. Oh, this is TY like that.
This is
Okay, anyway, so
TY. Okay.
okay, before we go on, we need to roll the dice.
Let's roll
So
the
I
dice.
hope it's gonna be
Okay.
a short one because I'm
All
outdoor, as
right.
you can see.
Okay, roll the dice. 60 minutes.
Let's go.
But that's fast.
Ooh,
20
that's
minutes. Okay.
good. That's good.
Then we see the
Okay, let me see.
advertisement. No advertisement. Block it out. No
Uh,
free advertisement.
okay, 20
Yeah.
minutes, right? I love it. Are you ready? 20 minutes
Red.
and the time starts now. Okay, so this way I'm supposed to come up with the topic, and it's kind of personal because I'm currently in Beijing, right? This is the first time I'm away from my kids. So for this 3 months, I won't be able to really by their side to teach them and stuff. I mean, they are like 5 and 4, so it's kind of. I think you guys would agree that kids when they are 4 and 5, right, they really change very fast, like as compared to 7 or 8. Like every week you see them progress and stuff. So
Yeah.
so anyway,
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say is while I'm here, I came across a lot of parents which apparently they are also away from their kids because they need to work. Like Beijing being the capital, right? A lot of people they come to Beijing to work, so they are away from their kids. Then I'm just curious. I asked, then how do you accompany or educate your kids, right? This is our responsibility. Then they were like, then we will do like a every day we'll video call. Then we will. So I thought of a term. When we have this kind of situation in a relationship, we will say it's a long distance relationship, right? So this kind of education, I somehow think that it's a long distance education as well, which is
So
quite
it's called
interesting.
distant learning.
Yeah, and yeah. It's almost like during COVID that time, a lot of schools they have the virtual classes and all. If that works, what would this kind of virtual parenting works as well? I'm not sure because I'm not there to see their kids. But apparently, this is what they have been doing for the past few years. Like
Hmm.
both parents are away from the kids, the mom and the dad. They are not even staying together because Beijing is so big, right? One is in the east, one is in the west. They each rent their own room. Then they just meet. Yeah, it's crazy because if you were to stay together, unless you work really close to each other, if not, traveling itself is really troublesome. It's not troublesome. It's just long. It's just
Wow.
huge. This
And then
city
they
is
work
just
long
huge.
hours, low pay.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
low pay that one I'm not sure lah because
Okay.
at least they are in Beijing, right? So maybe they are
How big is
getting better
Beijing?
pay. Okay, so how big is Beijing?
how, or rather,
Okay,
how big for them
Population, I
okay,
to
suppose.
be staying
okay.
away? Yeah.
Okay, let me give you an example. In Singapore,
Mm,
when we say, "Hey, I'm near this
mm,
place," right? The
mm.
definition of near is like, okay, maybe I'll reach in 5 to 10 or at most 15 minutes. That's near.
Okay.
In
Uh,
Beijing, when you say you're near, 30
uh.
minutes is 30 minutes is near. So whenever you go out, right? Yeah. So the minimum traveling time
Travel
is
time.
one
Travel
hour.
time is 1 hour. But the distance.
Just,
What is the
no,
distance?
it doesn't matter. So the distance is also very far. I think it depends
But you know what I
because
mean?
the
It's like
distance
if it's a
doesn't.
poor planning, poor urban planning, right? Then that can
No.
be a problem.
I mean, it depends on how you see it. I agree with you.
Uh,
So for example, from point A to point B, maybe you need to go through some, the
yeah. It's like Singapore last time lah. You know, it's
but
like you
there are a
are
lot. There are
I east. I want to
16 or
go to north. I must transit Adobe. God, there's no way to cut through. Stupid.
but there are a lot of lines. But that's off the point. So the point here is, so
Okay.
I want to not discuss Beijing. I want to discuss about this long distance
Distant learning.
education.
Mm.
Do
Hmm.
you guys think that it works when it comes to education?
Well, is the question going to be lot. What do you mean work? Work
I
for
think
your to gain skills, or work for your personal life?
yeah, actually the distinction is distant parenting or distant education.
Yeah, I think
Let's
this is. I
clarify
think I
that.
think it's more. Yeah, distant parenting.
Is that a hang or is that thinking? Okay, that's a hang.
My my line kept getting cut off. I don't know why. Is it because it's 12? They start turning off all the routers.
It's hantu
No,
lah.
okay. I no Choi. No, I'm outdoor. Don't say that. Later you see something behind me, Jaden. No, but I think it's more of parenting. Distance parenting.
Distant parenting.
Mm.
Okay.
Because like I'm thinking like I can't imagine myself if I were to continue studying.
Mm.
Gone.
Well, then we can we will help him continue. Since we briefly spoke about this thing, right? Distant parenting.
So the question is, do you think it can work? And I think here we go. Is empty
Yeah,
state. Okay.
it's back. Yeah,
Why I'm at the same place,
yeah.
I'm not
So
moving
so
anywhere.
so the technology tells you that it can't work because you keep breaking up. If I'm your kid, I can't talk to you properly.
That's a good point. Actually, that's actually frustrating, especially when you're in
Yeah,
China. So every time I
yeah,
call them, there might be some points where I'm breaking off or they are breaking off, and like even
yeah,
though we do have like video call available, but it's much better than last time when you don't have that. But it's still
yeah.
frustrating.
Yeah. So imagine the other
Yeah,
day I
and
was.
and and
Mm, go ahead, go ahead.
continue. Sorry. Go no, go go go.
Yeah, so let's talk about distant parenting because I was sharing with Dan the other day that when I was young, my dad works overseas as well, and that time during those times, there's no. We're talking about there's you don't even have mobile phone, or you have mobile phones, but you're talking about Motorola, Siemens, that kind of Nokia days. So there's no internet, there's no real time video and all those things. The fastest you do is email, you know,
Mm,
and yeah, and the kids don't have a free laptops or iPad standby for your dad to text you that readily. No, that time was fax, fax. So
yeah.
what kind of distant parenting? No, nothing at all. It's more phone call and the occasional once a week maximum, quick one. Hello, how are you? But when that happens, someone in Singapore, there must be a guardian in Singapore to take care of your
Mm,
general day-to-day well-being. So to
mm,
look after your you go to school and your pocket money, your food, your sanitation, your hygiene, your everything, uh, your lifestyle. And then I only get to see my dad like along. Of course, my dad will travel to and fro, but it's not definitely not weekly. It's definitely not weekly. It's like maybe once a month. And then during school holiday, we will be immersed in that country. So let's say my dad was working in Philippines, my entire vacation will be in Philippines. That my
Mm.
brother and I will all fly into Philippines. If he's in Malaysia, we'll all be in Malaysia. If he's in Thailand, we'll all be in Thailand. So it's not a holiday like holiday because he still had to work. So he will try to like take leave, then we will
Mm.
travel within Philippines to go to this nice whatever this thing, that thing, dinner every day after work. We'll still hang around, do our usual thing in the day because it's holiday, right? So he'll still work. After work, he'll come back. We'll go dinner together. That's where we spend a lot of time. And I still remember when I was so young, I at one of the first few times I was like, oh, I don't want to go back home. I want to spend my time there because it was so fun a holiday, right? You know. But I said, nope, sorry, end of holiday, you need to return home. You need to start your school and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Oh,
mm,
I think
then
probably it's a very interesting issue. Obviously, I'm not a long distance father, but I was. My father did like Ty. Also, my
mhm.
father worked abroad, but that was from my ages 10 to 20. So it really,
Right.
I think that's
10
quite
years.
interesting. It's what age? What age are you going to be away from your family or away from your children? So different
Mm,
age brackets have are more important than others, maybe, or
mm,
not. So form children's formative years from 0 to 4, how often you're away from them, does it is it important? Well, fathers, I suppose, bring in the discipline and the kind of the rules of the house. So I know I'm being a bit of a stereotype, but you know it generally is the case. So children need to have discipline. So if you're
mm.
not there for that, that might be an issue.
At
And
what
then
age? So you're talking about um, Ken's, sorry, the
Ken
drunken
Ken
dad's kid.
is what 3 to 5 year olds, right? You
Yeah,
mentioned.
yeah. Five,
Yeah,
5, and 4. Just like I mentioned. So,
right. Yeah,
so yeah, you're right. I think age matters as well. Like, but you think about it again. Unless you are 17 and above, where you can, or rather, you are more mature, that you can decide on your own things. Even if you are 10 to 15, for example, I think you will still need someone who is there to yeah. So
No, I think
so so
it's
mention about discipline, right? Interestingly, like for example, over the phone call, let's say video call, right? Then I see my son was a bit disobedient or like misbehave or something. I will still educate him, and then I'll be
mm,
like, no, blah, 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 blah. Then
don't
my
do
wife
this
would, yeah. Then my wife would say something like, you shouldn't educate him during the phone call
over.
because you are away from him, and
mm,
then
Yeah.
you rarely see him already. You don't see him every day yet. You use
Uh,
this like maybe 10, 15 minutes to use 1 minute of it to scold him. It's wrong.
right.
But I just thought that no, I. But the thing is, if it's wrong, it's wrong. What? Why would I? I mean,
That's true.
I
No,
agree
yeah,
that
you're
you
right.
need
You're
it.
right. Wrong is wrong. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I don't scold him now, then when? Do I
mm.
Mm.
do I keep it and then until I go back 1 month later and he said, "Hey, do you remember this one time, blah blah,"
They won't
which is
remember.
yeah. I mean,
But
I won't even remember as well. But yeah,
okay lah. I mean, the kids are too. To me, that they are still too young, so you don't have to reprimand them or educate them the over the internet. The mom or the adult can do that, or the guardian can do that. On the contrary, right? Or rather, I feel that in the teens, those are very important years.
the
Yeah,
teens, right? As in like
yeah,
Yeah,
teens, you're
extremely
talking about
important because
15
yeah, and
to
onwards,
maybe
basically the
18.
teens. Yeah, and yeah, basically the teens. So 13 all the way to 19. You know.
Mm,
and it's
Yeah,
where you need to guide. There's guidance needed. Stay in the right path.
yeah.
Life,
They
life lessons, that sort of thing.
exactly,
Mm.
exactly. Yeah, and there's a time where it's hard for you to scold and you have to reason, you have to talk. But if you're not there, they may just put out a show and say, "Oh no, there's nothing. I'm just okay. I'm just doing my thing," and they will not have anything to say to you. Then, no, I'm just nothing. What do you have to say to me? Nothing, nothing. Just Google law,
Mm.
you know, law. Yeah, and nothing law. Just like that law. So it's difficult to find out information from a teenager, right? So unless they feel that connection and they really within themselves and then they really want to share with you, it's gonna be quite tough. Yeah.
mm. Sorry, got
But
mosquito. I'm like trying to fan
I
away the
mean,
mosquito.
this is for you. This is a one-off, isn't it? I mean, it's a 3 month out, and then
Mm.
you'll be back. It's only a
I
little. It's only a little snippet, really, in a way. I can't imagine how these families in Beijing are doing this because that's their job, isn't it? They're away, and this is going to be a career. This is going to be number of years. That's quite that's quite incredible, really.
Okay. Of course there are different levels. Like when you talk about career, you're talking about like for example, there's like a growth and stuff. But a lot of people here they just need money to just to earn a living, just a job to earn
Mm.
a living. So, um, it might not be long term in a way. Like they just think that now there's a chance, there's this
they
opportunity, I
grab
just
them.
grab it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if not, there's nothing.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
nothing. So it might not be a long term thing, because I think that if there's a long term thing, and if this person is in this stage of like, okay, I mean, I have a career prospect and stuff, they will normally bring the kids over as well. Like
Hmm.
they won't just.
Okay.
But most of these people who are doing this is because they can't, they don't have a choice. Like
Hmm.
they need this money, not because
Mm,
they have a career prospect or something. I don't think that is
mm.
point. I mean, of course, this is a bit far fetched from Singapore, but I'm just thinking, moving forward, I don't know, with technology, with AI, with everything, with video calls and all, would there be parents who will just be posted overseas, but they don't bring their family, and they do this kind of like long distance parenting? I don't know, and I think in Singapore it's quite possible as well for some
It's
reason.
already
Can,
happening, right? It's already
It,
happening.
really?
Yeah.
I I suppose in a way it's happening, but it's also in a not uh, not far, but maybe because the people work so hard and they're working long hours and they get back home and they're tired and they're not really seeing their kids. Maybe just the stress, the rat race, in a way, is making parents in Singapore not see their children as much. Just a
So you
general rat race.
Yeah. So you think about it. You think about it. Let's say if this person doesn't have to travel, his post is not that high or important, right? So then then this the premise is not is smoothed already. But so apparently his salary or his responsibility is higher. Therefore the company has to send him over instead of getting someone from there to work. Now in
Mm,
this instance, it it's quite a struggle for him. Can he just let go? No, no, I don't do this thing. No, he can't, right? Because it's a high post and it's a high salary, right? If it's a
mm,
low,
mm,
if a
mm.
low post or high or low salary, he's like, "Oh, okay, lah, just no. But
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah,
should it
yeah,
should in Singapore at least it should be a high post and it should be a high salary,
Hmm.
and
yeah,
then usually he will think that no, I better do this thing because by the time my kids is 17 years old, 21 years old, I'm 50, I'm retired already. They will X me out already,
yeah,
right? So then he
yeah,
better try to earn as much as possible.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's another. That's also another no choice in a way. It's like in
Yeah, in
Beijing,
a
the
way
no choice
to
is
manage
because there's no
Singapore
choice.
standard of living.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no choice, because you better grab this chance. If not, you won't be able to get that post
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, but of course this is a and yeah, it's a day-to-day thing. So I mean in my previous capacity I've the ex-colleague when the or we heard of the concept of expatriate. Well, technically they don't. Sorry, Dan, but I'm talking about my colleague. They didn't have a for my that particular colleague. He didn't have a job there, and it wasn't that well paying. So then he accepted a job in Singapore. He had to ship his entire family here, before he managed to ship his entire family into Singapore, he has to make sure that his job in Singapore is stable first. Like he passed
Mm,
the probation, and
mm,
then he gels with the company, and there's the certain form of anxiety. Although they everyone puts out a very I'm gung ho, and but actually you if you think about it, there's a high level of insecurity within them, because if they have a rosy job back home, they wouldn't have to come over here.
Hmm.
Yeah.
mm,
So yeah, and then after a while, after a few months, then they kind of stabilize. Then the families are coming, and you see this pattern. You know, yeah. Why are you laughing?
Ah, I was pointing at the time. There's like 1 minute and twenty
Okay,
seconds
okay,
left.
okay. Okay, then you wrap up.
Yeah.
How do you
All right,
feel?
wrap up
No,
then.
Dan.
What? So it's to summarize, I think age matters of the child, or there's different responsibilities and different sort of you have to appreciate different things at different ages. Plus, how long are you going to be away from, and how regularly? You might be coming back every month. Are you going to
Mm,
fly back and see them every month, or every week, or every 3 months?
Yeah, there's another thing we have to tackle. Will technology help? That's something to discuss. And
Hmm.
next thing is, how does it help if there's a time difference, for example?
Hmm.
Right? In the Asian
oh,
country, that's
time
fine.
difference is another. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
If there's a
Time
time difference, how
difference
do you
is really
it's
another problem.
practically useless. It's like you're
Yeah.
sleeping, I'm working, he's sleeping. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah,
You're lucky now. There's no time
yeah.
difference, right?
Yeah. Actually,
Yeah, you're
that's true.
lucky
That's true.
now. Yeah.
And
Mm.
just now when we talk about job, right, it's like really a lot of like overseas posting and stuff going on, especially in Singapore. Oh, the time is up, but let me just finish this. For
Yeah.
example, even in as a journalist, right? We do
Mm.
have like overseas posts. Like for example, in China, we have like posts in different states of China, and we
Right.
have like Southeast Asian posts as well. So when these opportunities open up, right? Actually, it
Yeah.
is very rare, and is
Yeah.
if you see all the high up kind of like editor in chief and all, right,
Yeah.
almost all of them have been posted overseas before. It's like
Right.
a
Mm.
training process. Like
Sure.
once you
Yeah.
have been through this, right, then the next step for you is to go up the ladder of. So like if I think of myself, I'm like,
Mm.
okay, if I go and apply, shall I go and apply? But if I were to apply, then I will have this dilemma. Like 2 3 years, I'll be away. Do I need to like Tina say? Do I need to ship the whole family over? If
Yeah.
let's say it's China, there's no time difference. It's
Mm.
not really far away. If let's say I'm in Beijing, it's 6 hours flight away. I can always fly back on a Friday and come back on a Sunday or something. I mean, it's not that near, but it's not that far.
Mm.
It's not like a no brainer, but
Yeah.
it's not far. So
Mm.
like yes, that's why I also think like, actually, does it work if it's a long distance parenting?
Mm.
Maybe what if I'm thinking for myself? What if?
Hey, those celebrities, right? They do the same thing also. Right? They also spend a lot. I mean, a long time away from their family, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yes, that's
Yeah.
true.
Of course, they earn a lot of money lah. So that's different thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I need to. So the main thing is I need to make sure that I earn a lot of money from this. Like if I were to post it, I make
No,
sure I
no, no,
become like a chief editor or whatever shit.
no, no. Actually, I don't know about this thing, but it may be a little digress. I always believe that we should be doing something we are passionate with or in. We are doing always do something we are
Of
passionate
course,
in.
of course, of course.
Yes,
Mm.
and I'm not sure about, let's say, my dad. Whether what's the level of him being passionate in his job,
Uh,
how much is it because I'm doing this only because I need to feed the family.
Mm.
I
That kind of
I
thing. Yeah.
I think for this generation, especially if we are
Mm,
talking about Singapore,
mm,
not so much about feeding or something. Like even if you ask the uni students now, right, they'll tell
mm.
you that they don't know what to do in the future, and I will say, and then I'll ask like, hey, what about income? Then they will say, actually, they don't really worry about that because their family can,
No,
that at
that's
this
Singapore. That's
generation,
Singapore. No, that's
yeah,
Singapore.
I'm talking about Singapore. That's why I'm talking about
Yeah,
Singapore context. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. They
Mm.
yeah.
don't really need to worry about that much in terms of that.
Yeah, Singapore. That's why it's so
Yeah,
hard for SME to be hiring Singapore. The government
Mm.
say no, you hire Singaporean first, but the fresh grad don't want to work because they want a high pay. Only MMC can afford, and how many MMCs are there in Singapore? So that is a
That's
big.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a nightmare. And then only the foreigners from Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, everybody, they are willing to, no, I'm willing to take up this job because it's worse off back at home. And then what
Mm.
you ask them, why do you want to come to Singapore? Or they are young, 16 years old, 17, 18 years old. Sometimes they fake their age to come here because I just need to work. There's no job, no money for my family. I need to pay off. And I'm like the fifth, the sixth kid, and my mom is already almost 70. I'm only not even 20 years old. So that's a different demographic altogether. Here, oh, I don't like this. Sorry, sorry, just this your company, the brand name, no, it's not there. Sorry, I think I tender less than 3 months. I just sorry. I think I better go and study. So
yeah,
that's it. Game over. I'm not dissing them because I'm probably like that. Last time. But I went one big circle and then I said, no, wow, no wonder it's like SME is damn hard. For me, it's damn hard to work with a Singaporean designer.
Mm.
For
yeah,
in order to give them what they want, it's difficult. You know.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It is.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um.
Cool.
Yay! That's the end of the discussion
Then
for the
can
day.
see you guys, man. Cheers. Take care.
Okay.
All
Cheers.
right.
Bye bye.
Ciao.